everyone, it's Papercrafting Mama, and I am back with yet another Halloween Treats paper crafting tutorial. Today I'm excited because I'm going to share with you how to make this adorable mummy gift bag. He's a very good sized bag. He opens up at the top here, and there's plenty of room inside for any of your treats or small gifts. So let's get started. To begin this project, you'll need a paper bag. Now I chose a medium-sized white paper bag that actually measures 3.5 inches by 6 3/4 inches. Now it's a little bit taller than what I would like for it to be, so I'm going to grab my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim off about 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the top. Now to make the wrap part of the mummy, all I do is I take a piece of very vanilla cardstock from Stampin' Up. Before I start tearing it, I actually measure it across 3.5 so that I know it's going to fit across my bag really well. And then I just kind of randomly tear however I want, like so. And so I tear until I have enough pieces to do the back and the front. Now to give this a little bit more aged look, what I do is I take some soft suede ink from Stampin' Up and a sponge. And then I just sponge around the outside of all of my little pieces. When all of those pieces are done, I go ahead and I cut out another piece of cardstock, and I either use white or you can use the very vanilla again. And I cut it so that it is a 3 inch by 3.5 inch square. And then I will score it down the middle so that I can fold it in half. And what this is going to do is it's going to be attached to the bag so that we can add a closure to it. But before I attach it, I'm going to go ahead and start attaching some of my wrap pieces. So I just grab any adhesive that I have, and I start at the bottom with a little bit of overhang. So I will just continue adding all the different pieces. Okay, once I have that part done, I can go ahead and attach my cardstock. So I will just add adhesive to one side of our flap. And then I will line up the top. I'll line up the top of the bag almost to the top of the cardstock. I don't want to go all the way up because otherwise it won't fold as easily over. So once I have that in place, I can go ahead and add a few of these pieces to my flap. So I'm going to add my first one on the bottom here, and then I'm actually going to put this aside for a sec. A mummy wouldn't be complete without eyes. So I'm going to take some black cardstock and a 3/4 inch circle punch and punch out a couple of those. And then I'm also going to take some white cardstock and use a 1 inch circle punch to punch out a couple circles from that. And that is what's going to create our eyes. So I'll add just a little bit of adhesive to the black parts so that I can stick it on my white circles. So once I have my eyes punched, I'll go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of one of my strips. And I'll kind of place the eyes behind it to where they're kind of covered but kind of peeking out. I'll get another strip to add to the top of my bag. And then I'll come in with my eyeballs and my last strip and place that somewhere in the middle. Now, as you can see, some of this has some overhang, so all I would have to do is take a pair of scissors and trim those up just a little bit, as long as I'm careful that I don't cut the sides off. I would normally do the same thing that I did to the front, to the back as well, but to save time in this video, I'm going to go ahead and skip that step. So the next thing would be making sure that our closure can actually close. To do that, I'm just going to get some Velcro. Place it somewhere under the flap and then close it. My last step is to add a Happy Halloween saying. Now this part, of course, is completely optional. Your mummy could be done if you wanted it to be. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this label punch. And using the same very vanilla cardstock so that it doesn't stick out too much, I'm going to get my soft suede ink back out. I have a Happy Halloween saying that I'm going to stamp on there. And then I'm going to get my sponge back out. And I'm going to sponge around this as well. And then I'm going to get a couple dimensionals and pop those on the back. Whoops. And then place this either towards the middle, the bottom, wherever you would like it to be put. Open them up. And there you go, an adorable Happy Halloween mummy gift bag. I hope you've enjoyed this paper crafting tutorial, and don't forget to come back next week for even more spooky treats. Bye!